Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to the 2024 LOTRO Marathon as part of our fall fundraising campaign at Signum University. My name is Corey Olsen, the Tolkien professor, joined as always for the marathons by Wigend. Get up, Wigend. Come on now. Up and at him. You've been resting long enough. You've had, what, like 15 months? No, okay, not 15 months. 13 months of rest. It's now time. So, Wigand, of course, this is the first character I ever made on LOTRO. And with Wigand, what I do, if you've never been to one of these before, what I do is I go through the epic quest line. I'm pushing my way through the epic, the sort of the core story of LOTRO to sort of explore. So everything I do with Wigand, again, this is my highest level alt, so anything I do with him I've never seen before by definition. Yes, Sam is a little traumatized, I see, that Wigand has been sitting here next to this injured ranger for an entire year, leaving him to, like, twitch and thrash in pain. It's a hard life, man. It is. Like, it, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, so what I'm going to be doing today throughout the day with Wigand is exploring storylines that I have never seen before. So I am really excited to see the these I say new because they're still new to me, adaptations of Tolkien, and of course especially now since we are well into essentially Fourth Age material, post Lord of the Rings material. And, as of course the whole Mordor, Black Book of Mordor storyline is. My goal today, of course, for those of you who are familiar with the game, you will recognize where Wigand is. My back is to Mordor. You can see through this gate is Mordor. And this is the way to Minas Morgul. So I am right here. Yep, with Gorgoroth over there. Where are we? Yep, down in the bottom corner there, and then we are headed up towards Minas Morgul. So I'm prepared now to do the entire Minas Morgul storyline. You'll remember in the Lord of the Rings that Faramir is delegated. Faramir's made Lord of Ithilien, of course, and one of the tasks that needs to be done after the War of the Rings, Sauron has been vanquished now, the ring wraiths are no more, but Minas Morgul is still a problem, right? So Faramir is going to be, is here in the game been delegated to take care of that, and Wigand is going to help him with that today. So this is the exploration of what's going on there in Minas Morgul after the War of the Ring, and in particular, you will remember. Hey Isaiah, welcome. In particular, you may remember, again, if you know the game, the quests. I'm in part 4 of chapter 13 of the Black Book of Mordor, and what happened in the first 3 what are they called? Segments? Chapters? No, chapter is the 13. I forget what they call the, anyway, quest, I guess. I mean, quest number 4 of chapter 13. In the first 3 quests, we were like in the Vault of Memory. Gandalf has been studying the Black Book of Mordor, which we brought to him, of course, and he discovered that guess who is still in Minas Morgul? The Tolkien character from whom I think LOTRO has gotten the most mileage out of. Now, this is not book stuff, so we have no idea. I mean, like, the only thing we know about Minas Morgul, really, in the books, are that the Nazgul were based there, right? So, like, who is in charge after the Nazgul are vanquished is really uncertain. I presume someone vaguely Gorbagian, essentially. Gorbag seems to have been some sort of leader among the orcs of Minas Morgul. probably somebody like that. But in the game, the story that they've been developing in the game, first of all, notice that I didn't talk about this too much at the time, but I just want to glance back at it, because the quests that Wigend did last marathon were the ones where we discovered that Gandalf had, in a different form, shown up for the War of the Last Alliance, right? In fact, I didn't hear anybody talking about this. That, for all of the agita about the decision made by the Rings of Power adapters to bring Gandalf in early at the end of the Second Age, LOTRO did exactly the same thing, made precisely the same choice. All they did was not explicitly make him arrive by comet. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Druidsfire says most of us were like, LOTRO did that first. Yeah, well, I mean, the point that I would make about that is it's a really natural impulse. Like, it's a very understandable impulse for them to, for an adaptation to do that, right? If you're going to tell the story of the end of the Second Age, the desire to have a wizard present and the further desire for that wizard to be Gandalf, these are totally, it's very understandable things. However, so you'll remember, this is not a spoiler because, again, it already happened in the previous quests. This is more of a reminder than a spoiler. The character who is currently in charge of Minas Morgul, Gandalf just deduced in the previous quests, is their interpretation of Gothmog. So Gothmog, the Lieutenant of Morgul, is mentioned in The Lord of the Rings. It seems reasonably clear that Gothmog, the Lieutenant of Morgul, is one of the Nazgul, I think. Not like some other random dude. Certainly not a white orc, like a deformed white orc, as in the films. In fact, an orc chieftain, is explicitly not in charge in the book. But anyway, whatever. In the game, they've decided that Gothmog is Mordorith returned, and Mordorith, of course, who was the power who was making Angmar rise again in the very beginning of the game, in the very first installation of the game, was right. Omanio says we don't know that Gandalf didn't come by comet in LOTRO. Exactly. That's why I said he didn't explicitly come by comet, right? But they can neither confirm nor deny. Anyway, okay, so Mordorith, the Lord of Angmar, at the beginning, has been revealed, and this is a spoiler, but like, if you're upset about spoilers for the first 50 levels of LOTRO and you're watching a marathon that starts with my character at level 124, you've got to brace yourself for this sort of thing. Turns out to be Earnor. That Earnor, so that within the story of LOTRO, they chose that Earnor, the last king of Gondor, did not die. As I think Tolkien actually implies, that he's taken into Minas Morgul, and then no one knows what happens to him. And LOTRO has speculated, within LOTRO's version of the story, he is taken and he is wraithified and he is enslaved to the Witch King. His ultimate enemy, of course. And then he, with his will corrupted and enslaved, is set up as the puppet king of Angmar, and then comes down and is like the junior assistant at the Battle of Pelennor Field, as we saw, and now apparently is holed up in Minas Morgul. So, anyway, okay. Let's see. So, Phil, it's really not clear to me. Phil is asking the sensible question. Is he, I assume you mean Gandalf, incarnated like an Istar, or is he a Maya wearing a fauna like normal? So Phil is referring to the complicated distinction. Spiritual beings like the Maiar and the Valar can take on physical form, right? They can just like whip up a body, basically, and appear in it temporarily. But the wizards are not like that. The wizards are special because they've been incarnated in physical bodies. Like, they have bodies. They're not just manifesting a body. This is what the Rings of Power, by the way, is playing on when they have Gandalf being all, like, bewildered and confused and trying to, like, never having eaten before and not knowing how to do it properly and stuff because he's never had a body. That's what they're kind of playing with in Season 1 of the Rings of Power. Anyway, the game did not, I think, specify in what form Gandalf was at that stage. If I had to guess, then I would think that LOTRO is thinking of his appearance being a manifestation earlier on, and that he doesn't get incarnated until he arrives on the boat, which I think LOTRO is suggesting he does arrive on the boat, in the year 1000 of the Third Age. As it says in Appendix B. I believe that's the Gandalf arrival story, as far as I can tell, within LOTRO. I don't remember any indication that they've changed that, but again, it's possible, because it's possible that they've changed it, that they just had him incarnated earlier. I think they're basically have just kind of avoided that question because it wasn't needed. They didn't have to answer it for the story, and so they just left it uncertain, which is really pretty smart. Yes, and Kendall, I agree. As I say, I think it's pretty smart because, Kendall says I like it better when adaptations try not to make an explanation and origin for every little thing. Yeah, no, exactly. Anyway, okay, so that's where we are. Just to contextualize folks, and I'm gonna head through the story now. Before I start, a couple things. One thing is that, remember, as I said, this event is done in conjunction with the fundraising campaign of Signum University. And I want to encourage everybody, if you haven't yet, to make a donation to Signum University. signumuniversity.org/donate is the there it is on from Moobot there on Twitch. For those of you who are following on Twitch, you can go there and you can make a donation to support Signum University. We really appreciate it. Signum, of course, is your donation to Signum University is fully tax deductible, which is important in December here. Just want to thank everyone who has donated and to encourage everybody to do that. I'm also going to be doing some giveaways at various points over the course of the day, but I wanted to explain something. So I'm broadcasting this on YouTube and on Twitch as well, just because I wanted to, some people will find it easier to watch on one rather than the other. However, when we do giveaways, when we do drawings, I'm going to be doing those. Twitch has a really handy mechanism for that. So I'm going to be using the Twitch mechanism, the drawing mechanism, the raffle mechanism on Twitch. So if folks are watching on YouTube and would like to put their names in for the drawings that I'm going to be doing fairly regularly, then you're going to need to switch over to Twitch. At least just pop in for the drawing at the very least. So just wanted to warn people about that. All right, so let's start with the drawing right away. The first drawing we're going to do, I want to do a Signum Moot drawing. So one of the things that we do at Signum throughout the year is our regional moot program, and all of our regional moots are hybrid moots. You can attend any of our moots remotely through Zoom, as well as, of course, attending in person if they happen to be near enough to you to do that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to give away a free moot ticket. And actually, this will be a free ticket to the moot of your choice, with the exception of Myth Moot. Myth Moot is different. That's our big 4-day moot. Any of our regional moots, you can get a ticket, either kind of ticket. You can get an in-person ticket if there's one near you. You can get a remote ticket if it's not near you. So let's go ahead. So, Drew, could you help with this? Yeah, could you start the raffle, right? Yeah, there we go. And yes, Phil, I think you're right. I suspect you do have to be logged into Twitch in order to participate in the giveaway. Excellent. Yeah, so all you have to do is type !raffle into Twitch there, and you will be entered in the drawing, and we'll close the drawing. Someone will remind me to close the drawing in a few minutes. Hang on. I still got my phone in my pocket. Let me set a little timer. I will close the drawing soon. Okay, let's say 10 minutes. All right, in 10 minutes, we will close the drawing and do the drawing for our first giveaway, our moot giveaway. All right. And with all that said, with all that extensive preamble, Wigend is now going to set off towards... Oh, hang on. No, he's not. He's got to help this injured ranger who's been twitching here for a year. Hey there, injured ranger. What's up with you?
We have need of strong allies.
Be careful, friend.
Turn anyone away.
We are hard pressed here, and attacks can come at any time without warning. It was at Prince Faramir's command that we forced open the dread door, and we paid dearly for it. Many of my brethren did not survive the initial attack, but now we hold it against whatever evils try to retake it, or we will not risk dishonoring the memory of our fallen by giving it back. We established a camp to the west, and you may find the prince there. Do what you can to help us, for we have need of strong allies, and do not dare turn anyone away. Okay. I love how he's already the prince. There's our friend Ingold, right? Like Ingold from the north wall of the Pelennor. But I'm gonna mount up here. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I love how they already, he whom they called captain, they are now calling prince. All right. Okay, let's see. Wait, you need my volume needs to be louder? Like my voice's volume needs to be louder? I can do that. I can do that. Let's see. There we go. Is that better? Okay. My system audio has been doing strange things lately. The game sounds are on, Phil, but they're faint. Because... yeah, they're faint because I don't want them overwhelming. And I don't want to have to shout over them, basically. Also, they're kind of, the music here is kind of ambient. Speaking of ambience. Oh, yeah. So, first, like, visual. So this is where Wigend came up to here to see the city from a distance. This is where I ended my last marathon stream. I love the way that they've done Minas Ithil. The thing that they have done, which the film did not do, is basically remember that this city is supposed to be, the twin city of Minas Tirith, essentially, right? Minas Anor, the Tower of the Sun, Tower of the Moon, these were designed to be not identical. They're not going to be identical. They're not even necessarily going to be the same size, but they're you can see the structure is very similar, right? You can see that that it's a tiered city leading up to, instead of the Tower of Ecthelion, you have this Tower of the Beacon, right? That is shining out. So the close parallelism of the two cities, like it's you look at this and it reminds you of Minas Tirith, as it should. I think that I think is a really smart adaptation. Tolkien speaks of the light of the moon being captured in Minas Tirith. We don't know exactly what that meant or exactly what that looked like, but it sounds really cool. And also that light has been twisted and corrupted in Minas Morgul. And of course, Morgul, as you will recall, Morgul is one of those delightful words, which is sort of almost designed to help you learn the language, right? Mor, meaning black, like Mordor, which just means black land. You'll remember people refer to Mordor as the Black Land. Faramir refers to it as the Black Land, for instance. That's just literally the translation of Mordor, just as Gondor means Stone Land. So anyway, Tolkien shows much interest in when he names things and when he presents the Elvish words in his stories. It seems to me pretty clear that he's wanting and hoping for people to figure out the languages, right? He provides a lot of help for you to begin to piece together so for you to be able to learn some Sindarin, essentially. And he goes out of his way, I think, at several points to teach it within, but not to have that interrupt the narrative. The most sort of famous example of this is the illustration that he made for the doors of Moria, so that you can see the Tengwar and you can see it transliterated into English, and then you can see it translated into English. So that little image serves as like your little Elvish Rosetta Stone there, right? And I think that was very much on purpose. Phil's wondering if those two towers can see each other. I bet you they can. Remember, what should be straight west of here is Valley, down to the river, and then Osgiliath in the middle. So in the old days, I would think Minas Ithil, and Osgiliath in between would have had, I suspect that there would have been line of sight. Remember, Tolkien, in his later writings, was contemplating the Palantiri actually working, in some sense, on line of sight, right? Not that they had to be unimpeded line of sight, but you understand what I mean. That they would be kind of lined up in some way, actually, I think does make fairly good sense. All right, well, let's continue down. Let's go find Prince Faramir here. Now, of course, you'll remember that I remember as a kid being really confused by Prince Imrahil because, of course, in my juvenile vocabulary, the word prince meant like the son of the king, right? Like the heir. And so I was like, how is Imrahil a prince when there isn't even a king? Right? I was very confused when I was a kid. I didn't understand why he was called a prince. And of course, it was later on I came to understand that the word prince, nope. So, by the way, you will notice at many times during the day today that I will be showing, frankly, heroic levels of discretion and focus, because Wigend is staying focused on the epic quest line. There's a lot of other side quests to do. You'll see other people with quest rings. You will see, for instance, tantalizing glowing pages of poetry just lying on the road begging to be read. Restraint, yes, that also. Very much restraint. So, but Wigand cannot afford to stop and smell the roses. Like, his job is to go through the epic. I want to follow the thread of the epic quest line, and just sort of see the overall big shape of the story. That's LOTRO's job. That's not LOTRO's job. That's Wigand's job within LOTRO. That's his job. On every Friday afternoon, that I'm available, I stream for a couple hours my Hobbit burglar Grifflet, who I've been streaming on Friday afternoons since, my goodness, that's been like 8 years now. I've been doing that. I started him from a hatchling, and he's now up at level 11-1 actually. And Grifflet is a completionist. So with Grifflet, I go through and I explore everywhere and I do every single quest, almost completely without exception. Gosh, was it 2015 that I started? It was 9 years? Oh my goodness, it was. Yeah. May 15th. Wow. So this coming May, Grifflet will be 10 years old? That's amazing. Okay. Anyway, so I do have another character in a different stream that I'm going to be following up. So I'm officially bequeathing all glowing pages and all side quests to Grifflet, who will come along behind and do all those things. So once a year, Wigend dashes ahead, and then during the rest of the year, Wigend takes his slow and perambulating way, but he's catching up. He's already in Mordor now. Grifflet is almost finished with Udun, the first section of Mordor. Oh, okay, hang on. Didn't realize that would make a sound. All right. That's not great, but okay. That tells me that it's time to close the raffle. So if you haven't entered yet, last chance here. Last chance to type !raffle and enter the drawing. There we go. That's good. Getting the last people in there. That's excellent. And then we will close it. So then if you could close it and do the drawing, Druid's Fire, I'd really appreciate that. That'd be great. And again, the prize here is going to be free admission to the regional moot of your choice in the year 2025, in the 2025 calendar year. Any of our regional moots, either in person or remotely. Raffle for a regional moot pass. That's it. Oh, wait, yeah. Hang on, I do have to... Oh, look at this. I got all these boosts already. What do I have here? Mark Acquisition. Okay, that's good. Foothold in Minas Morgul. 25% on Reputation. Okay. Oh, look, and I've got an XP gain from the Gift of Umbar. Well, that's nice. That's nice, but okay, hang on. Yeah, I do have to do... I got my stuff here. Let's see. Let's put one of these on, too. And then I already have supply going there. Okay. Yeah. Wigand needs all the XP that he can get because, of course, one of the downsides of not doing any of the side quests is he doesn't get as much experience. So in order to get enough experience to keep up with the there have been some exciting times when Wigand has been significantly under level for the epic quest that he's on. Okay, so where are we headed here? Not there. That's up towards Shelob's lair. I wonder if that's how Gundabad gets up. Interesting. Okay. And yes, Rosie, I did remember to go to Wanda in Bree. Yes, I did. So I'm all prepped for that. Oh wait, who won? Who won? Edith won. All right. Hey, congratulations. Did I see that? That's interesting. I saw the draw, but I didn't see the... Oh, I see. Okay, I think I'm not getting the I'm on the hang on a second. Let me... Yeah, I didn't see the Moobot post. Okay. Excellent. There we go. Let me pop out the Twitch chat as a secondary thing so I can see that. There we go. All right. Yeah, I don't want to miss that. Congratulations, Edith. That's fun. Okay, so we'll do another one. I'll set a less obtrusive alarm. Oh, one other thing that I should mention, one other kind of parameter for the day. So, sadly, when we woke up this morning, we discovered that my wife is unwell today. She's not, like, desperately unwell, but she is not very well. She, however, wanted me to continue and not cancel my marathon to take care of her. However, one really cannot err too profoundly in... Okay, this is not where I want to go. I want to go to the camp, and I missed the camp. I've apparently taken the wrong turning for the camp. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take breaks a little more often than usual so I can just check on things upstairs. I'm broadcasting from a basement here. I will I will definitely take breaks a little bit more frequently than I have in the past, which is probably not a bad idea in general anyhow. So I will be doing that in any case. So we will I'm going to take a brief break in about an hour from now, just to go check on things upstairs. Okay, Faramir must be down this way. Faramir really should have had better signage, I think. Okay, all right, I see the camp. How do you get there? Go up and around? No. No, we don't. How did I miss the entrance to this camp? It's very well hidden, Faramir, though I did just see that. Oh, just here. Okay. There we go. All right, here we are. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Hey, Baragond. Where's Baragond? Of course Baragond is here with Faramir. Excellent. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. No, I'm not going to do bounties. Where's Baragond? Oh, there he is. And there's Damrod. Hey, and Daggeras. The Dunedain from the north, kicking it with the Dunedain from the south here. That's fun. The Blazon of the Last Alliance? Oh. Well, that's kind of cool. What's up with that? Ah! What? Why didn't it warn me about that? You just click on it and like... Okay. Yeah, apparently that's a portal to the Second Age. Not well labeled. Wait, there's one here? I can get back. Oh, wait, Blazon of the Great Alliance. Okay. Man, when you have a time travel portal just sitting in your camp, you should, like, post a warning or something. Good grief. Come on. A prepositional phrase in the floaty text, in like the tooltip is an instant. There should be a big old, like, warning time travel portal. Come on. Yikes. Okay, no problem. No harm done. Okay. All right, where's Faramir? Not around, huh? It's okay. Ah, Thorindal, I remember him. All right, cool. I know what the Last Alliance means. I came over here, right, with understandable curiosity to find out, like, hey, like, why is there a big old sign about the Last Alliance here? Like, I thought this was some kind of relic that they had discovered or something. And I was like, oh, there must be some story here. So, like, I wonder what happens when you click on it. Again, like, most of the time in life, when one discovers, like, a display like this, it usually doesn't transport you back through time when you try to interact with it. But, my bad, I guess. Exactly. Warning, flux capacitor present, something like that. Yeah. I mean, it's... Okay. All right. Baragon, good to see you. How's Bergil doing?
I bid you welcome to Minas Morgul.
Thanks. Ha, do I say welcome? This is not a welcoming place, and indeed it must be the least such I have ever seen. Even so, it is my honor and my joy to serve here at the command of King Alessar, for it was his mercy alone that allows me to still draw breath. My crime could not be forgiven. I spilled the blood of my fellows, and for that a guard of the citadel deserves death. Because I acted to save the life of my lord Faramir, the king named me an exile, and charged me with the further protection of Faramir's life. I do not gainsay the king's wisdom, nor would I, but neither am I blameless. I bear my guilt with me, and strive every day to serve King Elessar and Prince Faramir. It is the king's command that Minas Morgul be utterly destroyed, and the valley cleansed. I do not know how this might be accomplished, but I will do whatever I can to make it so. Thus do I welcome you to Imlad Morgul, Wigend, strange though it seem. My prince has not found it easy to shake his roots as a ranger. Even now he walks somewhere in the valley, despite our warnings. I ask you to find several places from which to look at Minas Morgul. I'd love to. And at the bridge of Guliant. And also to defeat our foes along the Rath Duath. Take the road west until you emerge from the trees. There is a short stone pillar by the side of the track, I think I just saw that, from which you can study the walls of the city. Faramir intended to survey Guliant, and you may find them there when you have accomplished these tasks. Okay, so as I recall, in the earlier epic, that is when we were coming up through Ithilien, through North Ithilien, didn't we destroy that bridge? Like, wasn't that part of our cunning plan to protect the flanks of the army of the king as it marched north, that we, like, bombed the bridge? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought I remembered. So now we've got to get into there, which we've already made difficult. Okay. That's fine. Who's this over here? This totally unnamed... Hello, nameless Dunedain with spear. You're just one of the first Dunedain I've seen actually wielding a spear. And you're just standing on this boulder, all on your own. Okay, first fish, yes, thank you. I was realizing that I left my explanation about Faramir being a prince dangling. So, the word prince does not, in fact, just mean son of the king. It means it was the sort of the sense in which Tolkien is using that word is more was kind of borne home to me more clearly when I studied more as I went to college, studied more medieval and Renaissance literature, because they use the word prince a lot. This was especially common in like the 16th century. They would talk about, like the rights of princes and the power of princes. And they were using it because when you think about it, the word prince is very generic. It's from the Latin princeps, which just means leader. So the word prince was used in older English as a kind of generic word. Man, that looks cool. The rotating beacon. All right. A generic word which means leader, ruler, essentially. And it was a useful term, especially because it could refer to anyone who is a leader without, because if you say like, well, you have to be concerned about the power of kings, and somebody be like, well, we don't have a king, we have a Grand Duke or whatever else, like, and they're like, no, the title doesn't matter. What matters is like the person who is in charge. And so the word prince was often used in that kind of a sense, like someone with like vaguely monarchical powers, essentially. Somebody who is in charge of, well, yes, a principality is of course a derivative of that. So cool. Anyway, so this is why Imrahil is a prince. This is why Imrahil is a prince, and the sense in which Faramir is a prince, is that it means that they have real authority, real autonomy and rulership over their principality, over their area. So Dol Amroth is not just a province of Gondor, and Imrahil is not just a provincial governor. He is the monarch of Dol Amroth, but he serves under the king. So the king is his liege lord. The king is his ruler. The king has authority over him, but he has real authority over Dol Amroth. So when Aragorn makes Faramir a prince of Ithilien, he is declaring Ithilien quasi-independent. Like, it is not directly under Aragorn's authority. Not in the sense that he is running what happens in Ithilien. That's Faramir's job, right? Faramir owes his allegiance absolutely to Aragorn, but he has power and control. He's not just an appointed governor or something like that. So Ilmenio, female princes were called princes. This, of course, came up a lot in the 16th century. Queen Elizabeth was a prince for a very long time, and she would often refer to herself that way, as a prince, that is. So yes, in my to my knowledge, the word princess almost always does just refer to the daughter of the king. Like, that's a female ruler is a prince, basically. Wax Begonia asks if Imrahil has authority over fishmongers. Not as much as he might wish, in my personal opinion. For those of you who don't understand about that, that's a reference to a previous marathon in which Wigend uncovered a dark conspiracy among the fishmongers of Dol Amroth. It was truly alarming. Okay. Are you kidding me right now? I'm supposed to look at Minas Morgul from a few designated and particular spots, and it's just going to coat the whole area in red, and I have to guess which spots I'm supposed to look at it from? Okay, anyway. But I did look at it from here, right? The walls of the dead city tower above you, monumental and menacing. Okay, there we go. So first of all, notice the similarity. There's some really interesting similarities and differences. First, the walls of Minas Ithil are white instead of black. The outer walls of Minas Tirith are, of course, black. Why are they black? Because they're the same as Orthanc. Whatever was the technology of the Númenóreans, which enabled them to make Orthanc unbreakable by Ents, even by Ents, I should say, impervious, certainly to trebuchet stones. That's apparently not done here. Instead, they've done a different thing. These are the glowing walls, like the light of the moon was captured here. And I think that the mist exuding from the city is part of the twisted and corruption thing. But we notice, of course, that as we have seen many times before in Mordor, where early Gondorian and Númenórean structures were taken over by Sauron and made evil, how you make a Gondorian structure evil, apparently, is adding these black spiky bits, right? So these things get and I love the visual effect of it. It's like you can see the clean, beautiful original fortress inside, and then it looks like black claws have closed around it, like the ground is come up from underneath and closed around it. That's pretty cool. Something seems to be attempting to eat me. However, there's a wandering gloom. Well, that's just not good. Okay, now this is the part of the stream where I attempt to recall actually how to fight with my guardian. Okay. Oh, well, I was meant to defeat foes anyway. So, fine. What other foes do we have? We have a warg, and we have an orc, of course. And I saw some poisoned mushrooms doing unpleasant things, and I wonder if they count as foes. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to carry on forward. There's another ring in the midst of this. Oh, I see. The area thing is because I'm supposed to defeat foes. So they're not, in fact, just daring me to guess which spots I'm supposed to fight foes from. That would be, as I say, that would be a bit unkind. But since Wigend is a guardian, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do several of them at once. Oh no, that orc is going to stay and shoot, isn't he? Well, that's really vexing of him. Okay, because Wigend prefers to fight multiple mobs at the same time. Ooh. Well, that was rather effective. Did I accidentally kill the mushroom from there, too? Huh. I think I did. Alright. Well, that's fun. Okay. Oh, but the mushroom didn't count as a foe. Okay, fine. So there's another wandering gloom and some more sentries who are annoying because they shoot you. Okay, there's another little sub-tower over there. Who's that? The Tower of Kirithungol is way up over there. Can't really see it from here. I love the flowers. These are the, the terrible flowers of Morgul Vale. The kinds of things we were burning before. Hey there, Mr. Warg. You want to join me over here? Maybe we can... Oh, good. The bat's going to come too. And then we can... Yeah. We can fight over here next to this crawler. And then we can invite him to the party also. Let's see if I can do that. And I do that. And then this one. Wham! Oh, yeah. Okay. Look, it's another glowing page. And I'm not picking it up. And it isn't that Wigend is pro-littering. It's just that restraint and focus. Who's chasing me? A bat. That's great. No problem. I guess we'll kill one of these dudes also. All right. No problem. Is that a good thing? I think that is a good thing. I think this is the thing I just initiated, right? The Bastion of Light? Yeah, I think so. Creates a 10-meter hotspot beneath your feet? Huh, okay. Well, that was fun. Yeah, also... Yeah, I don't think this counts. I'm just checking. Oh, it does count! Look at that, the mushroom counted as a foe. Indeed, that poisoned mushroom was the final foe that I needed. Excellent. All right. So now we are coming... Okay, so see, now this is not... Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So, if we look at this, we can see some evidence that this was built by Gondor. You can tell because this... Well... No, maybe not. I thought, from a distance, I thought that trim was Gondorian trim, but now that I look more closely, I don't think it is. And these are very Iron Crownish right there. So no, I actually think this might be a completely Morgulian construction. Sorry, I'm doing a really bad job of like finishing thoughts today. Morgul, I was saying. Morgul, Mor means black. Ghoul means sorcery. Like Nazgul. Right, Nazgul means ring wraith. Right? So ghoul is referring to the magic, the like the wraith magic, the power of the wraith. So Morgul, that's called the Tower of Sorcery, right? Is how he translates Minas Morgul. Minas means tower, of course. He translates Minas Morgul as Tower of Sorcery, but it's not just sorcery; it's black sorcery, Morgul, right? All right. Hey, Gravity, welcome. Welcome. All right, so there's that beacon. And the different rays of the beacon. Yeah. You can begin to get a sense of how that beacon is constructed from here. But anyway, so they made this, so this tower, this bridge at least, and it looks like probably that tower, are original Morgulian construction. So we have these two wraiths with the spiked crescent moon. Kind of love that, right? Like the violence that's been done to the moon itself. Like the moon itself has been stabbed and pierced. And then these statues, which are very much less definite. I'm thinking, of course, of the animated statues up in Angmar that we met ages ago. And yes, but they don't look so personable. Oh, anyway, I actually looked, but I didn't. In fact, Wigend didn't look. All right. The dark waters of the Morgul Duin rush beneath the stones of Gouliant. Yeah. Hey there, my Lord Prince. Oh, who destroyed this bridge? That was rude. So inconvenient, Faramir. I tell you, when I catch the scallywags, I'm saying though, Faramir, like the crown, man, the way that crown seems calculated to accessorize that armor is tasteful. You've got the black and white thing, black and silver, so it's like you're a guardsman, but way schmancier with the curly cues on your shoulders and everything else. Yeah. Oh, that is pretty cool. It's fancy, much fancier, Faramir, than when last I saw you. Well, when last I saw you, you were in bed, I think. But, so definitely more fancy than the pajamas you were last wearing. Okay.
I will not say this is a pleasant place.
No.
But I know that once it was.
True. This was Imlad Ithil, and nowhere else in Gondor could rival its beauty when the Ithilduin River sparkled in the moonlight like a vein of silver, threaded between dark cliffs. When Isildur came to these shores with his father and brother, he was so taken by the beauty of this valley that he built a citadel beneath the slopes of Akathras, the tallest peak of the Efelduath. Minas Ithil, he called it, and Barad Curon, the tower of the crescent moon, rose from its topmost level. But that was long ago, and the Lord of the Nazgul coveted the valley and the citadel sheltered within. Twice the Witch King seized the city. The first time he possessed it only until the last alliance of men and elves came south and fought the war that ended the Second Age. Minas Ithil remained under the control of Gondor for centuries, and although it would never again attain the heights it had known under Isildur, it drew the imaginations of poets, artists, and minstrels from all over the kingdom. That all came to a sad end with the second of the Witch King's assaults upon the city. When the Nazgul captured Minas Ithil for the second time, that name could no longer describe the citadel. It became Minas Morgul, the Tower of Sorcery, and so it would stay. Oh yeah, I want a Morgul Explorer's reinforced bracer, please.
When I was just a boy, my brother, Boromir, and I had the finest teachers in all of Gondor.
They told us tales of noble Elendil, wise Isildur, and bold Anarion, and our days were spent reenacting their most heroic deeds. But of all these tales, it was the fall of Minas Ithil to the Lord of the Nazgul that most moved my brother's heart. I can still hear his voice recounting it to me on a stormy afternoon, Wigand, and though the tale is a sad one, the recollection is welcome to me. An army of orcs came to the gates, I can hear him say, but they were met by a hail of stones. The lord of the city, a great captain named Egelmoth, sent out sorties to sow confusion upon the orcs and delay their plans. The Witch King himself sought to breach the gates, but could not. Years before, and at the request of the King of Gondor, the wizard Curanir placed powerful enchantments upon them, and they held against the Witch King's evil sorceries. But Egelmoth knew his men could not outlast the forces arrayed against them. At dawn of the appointed day, he sounded his war horn and led his men on their mounts through the gates, forming a wedge to drive the enemies to either side or trample them underfoot. They rode to the bridge, see the light on their faces as they approach, knowing freedom is near. But it was not to be so, for as they neared the Ithiliant, the bridge sundered, its pieces falling into the river. Egelmoth could go no further, but he despaired not. He commanded his men to turn their backs to the raging river, and they charged once again, straight toward the orc armies and their fell commanders. So died Egelmoth, but the tale of Egelmoth's onslaught fills our hearts with joy even today, for we know that he died in service of Gondor, and so we remember him. Faramir smiles, remembering his brother's love for this tale. Then he sighs wistfully and scuffs the stones with the toe of his boot. The Nazgul had weakened the supports of the bridge, so ensuring Egelmoth could not escape that way. Boromir was always quick to point out that it was a strategy that they had learned from Isildur, for the son of Elendil had used that very tactic against them when he first escaped Minas Ithil. Theirs was not a mindless evil, Wigand. Let us be glad they are gone. Yes, the Nazgul are slain with Sauron, but others might still work his evil within the dead city. South of here, the road climbs up to Minas Morgul. Go there and learn what you can of the situation inside. Defeat whatever foes you find there in memory of the hero Egelmoth, and in memory of my brother too. Okay, so, Faramir, your plan is to send me in there just to take out anything that's there, huh? It's a good plan. It's a good plan. Okay, yes, this is post-wedding in-game. So yeah, is it meant to coincide with the timing of Éowyn going off to escort Theoden home to the funeral? Very possibly. Very possibly. Okay. So I love this kind of storytelling. So as, of course, they have been doing since the very beginning, as is part of the very nature of LOTRO as an adaptation project, they're doing fill in the blanks, right? What do we know about the assault on Minas Ithil when the Witch King took it? One sentence in the Tale of Years, maybe 2 sentences. We know that he besieged it and then eventually took it. I think they besieged it for 3 years. Anyway, so I think there are 2 entries, like when they started besieging it and when they finally took it. That tells you that it was held against them, right? But we don't know the name of the captain. We don't know anything that happened. The addition of the magic of Curanir that's an invention. But of course, there are a couple different things that there are a couple different things that seem to suggest it, right? Again, it's one of the things that I really admire about the filling in of the blanks that LOTRO does, is you can usually like trace their footsteps, if you see what I mean. That is, normally you can see there are a couple different sort of shapes that they're filling in of the blanks tend to have. One is where they will sort of take particular suggestions and follow them up, and another is when they will take other stories and create stories that are deliberately parallel to those, so that they're doing a story which is not in Tolkien, but they're doing that story that is not in Tolkien based upon another story that is. That's one pattern that you can see in many of the stories that they develop. In this case, it's one of the first type. So, for instance, so you'll remember that there are references to the fact that Curanir was well known to the lords of Minas Tirith, and that he had often come, right? So they're taking that suggestion, and so they're kind of combining two things. One, they know that the Witch King is the Witch King. He is a sorcerer, and so he is, would presumably be using some of his sorcery against them. So they, but yet we know the place held out for 3 years, right? So they seem to be answering the question, how is it that the Witch King, with all of his sorcery, was not able to take the tower in 3 years? And their answer is because he was opposed by magic as well, and we know whose magic that would likely be. So that's why it is an interesting and plausible story. But of course, it's one of the things that it accomplishes is a kind of overlaying, right? It's Minas Morgul and Isengard both are old Númenorian, Gondorian strongholds that have been twisted and corrupted to a different purpose, right? So even just by alluding to Curanir, who's Saruman, we're kind of invited to look at those two things in parallel. And as we approach, I think that's sort of interesting. So, all right. So we've made some upgrades to the gate. Apparently. Again, notice what I said about how the black spiky bits that are around like the towers and walls of Númenorian, Gondorian strongholds in Mordor almost look to me like black claws reaching out of the ground to engulf the towers. This looks like a monstrous tentacular thing emerging out of the gate, right? Kind of love it. And we have 5 of these moon wraith things arrayed around here. Interesting. Okay, and a couple gatekeepers. Many foes wait beyond the entrance to the dead city. All right. What happens if I do this? Let's see, what is this? Isn't Fray the Edge the one I'm wanting? Yeah. Come over here, ugly. Let's see. We'll do that one and that one. No, and this one is the one I meant. Let's see, and there's that also. I think I could give you... Yeah, come here. I can give you one of these. And one of those. Okay. So I'm just trying to remember. It's been a long time since I've played the Guardian. And right before I played my Guardian last, they changed all the... well, not all of them, but they changed many of them. Yeah. So I could do... Let's see. I can do Overwhelm. Oh, I can't interrupt him. My turn the tables is still on cooldown. Okay. Alright. I think I got that. Alright. And look at me. All right, but I'm forgetting to heal myself, which I need to remember to do. Okay, yeah, the gate wardens are a little bit unobservant, aren't they? Right. Though it's true, as Edith points out, it's not exactly their job to protect the trolls. Hi, guys. Oh, you're very large orcs, aren't you? Oh, man, that shout is pretty effective. Okay. Oh, yeah, my healing was pretty effective too. Okay. Here we are. We have entered Minas Morgul. Whoa, the shimmery... Well, they put all these black buttresses in. Man, so it looks like the whole city has been impaled. Repeatedly. Yeah, see like the claw-tipped fingers? Druid's Fire saying, you're telling me they've nerfed the trolls? Yeah, well, you know. Hey, hang on a second. That banner. That's the Black Gate. Isn't that Ogrecor's banner? From O'Doon? That one right there? Oh, yeah. Goblin Scout. You really want a piece of me? You're pretty unobservant, too, if you didn't just see me take out, like, all 4 of the gate guards by myself. Okay. Well, I am defeating some foes. Who's this guy? A Gothmog Defiler? Unfortunately, he doesn't actually defile Gothmog, though, does he? I don't think so. Right, I have no other remit other than just to fight things in here and to look around because it's cool. I was hoping I had a little separate map here. Okay, it's... Oh, and they have circles. 4 circles? And then the Citadel of Night, huh? Wrath, sorrow, madness, despair. Interesting. He's... Yes. All right, hang on. We don't want to leave him roaming around here. Okay. What do these chests have? Just stuff? Yeah, they're just stuff. Okay, fine. Right. Yeah, so one of the consequences of doing my regular stream is that so normally I play a Hobbit Burgor on Friday afternoons. And that means that I'm accustomed to walking around in stealth mode, which means normally I'd be wandering about here just totally ignoring the mobs. But I have to remember that they're going to actually aggro on me if I get close to them. Okay. But I should just make with the slaying of things, however, because then I can get to my next quest objective. Climb the ramp between the 2nd and 3rd tiers. Okay. Northwest of the Songhouse of Lindalire. Lindalire? Lindalire. Okay. I'd love to. Okay, so I have to make my way up. Where's the ramp? The ramp is this way. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to just run through some of these guys. There we go. Come along, Sergeant. Well, this archer isn't going to behave, so... Okay. There we go. Oh, man. That shout is devastating. And really fun. Okay. Alright. There are all these chests. So these chests are just loot? There is so much loot. They are just loot. Oh, I think I see why. Because inside the chest is yeah, there's a lot of crafting stuff in here. What are these? Flickering moonlit. Oh, they're essences. Okay. Okay. Right. Crafting stuff, because there aren't so many other crafting opportunities. Like, you're not going to be mining and stuff in here. Okay. Is it almost time for the ramp? Where is the ramp? Did I miss it? Is it right over here? Hey, excuse me, all of you orcs. Do you know where the... Okay, yeah, a little targeting would be good. Okay. All right. So the ramp looks like I've just missed the... Oh, there it is. Okay, right, its location on the map is a little wonky. Okay, where do you want to come? There you go. There's room for all. Okay. Here we go. Up to the second level we go. So the ramps are very similar to the Minas Tirith ramps. The cities seem narrower. So the city is clearly on a smaller scale. On a smaller scale in both in the glowing page. Both in the sense that there are fewer levels, but they're also narrower as well. So you can see that the whole city is built on a smaller scale. I'm trying to decide targeting. Is it just me, or has targeting gotten a little bit worse in LOTRO of late? I feel like I've been having more issues with it. Okay, so hang on a second. I am seeing the distinctions. We have the Circle of Wrath and the Circle of Sorrow. The Circle of Wrath was all orcs. The Circle of Sorrow seems to all be wraiths and spirits. Oh, look, the Circle of Madness is... wow. Oh, the luxury. Minas Ithil. See, I think this suggests to me that Minas Ithil was constructed after Minas Anor. Because when they built Minas Ithil, they were like, okay, people, you know what's annoying? What's annoying is having to go all the way around the city to get all the way up. So we're going to build 2 ramps. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to let you be able to get up on either side. Now, from a defense standpoint, that's not as good. They did it at Minas Anor for a reason, you know? But this is so much more convenient. Okay, so we've got whites. A deadly sorrow white. Sorry, apparently, that he doesn't have a head. Which, you know, is fair. Okay. Yeah, there's no prow. Exactly. That's which is a fairly idiosyncratic element of Minas Tirith. Oh, okay, and we've got the... All right, hang on a second. Let's get a crowd here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'll come over here and I'll hit you with a wham. Oh yeah. Yes, you are all invited to this little party that Wigend is throwing over here. Okay. Gosh, it's kind of fun to play my Guardian. Okay. What are my graphic settings set at? That's a good question. Custom? I don't even know what that means. Let's see if I can crash my game. I'll set them at very high. No idea why it was set at custom. Or, again, even what that means. But that's fine. All right. Yeah, remember, I'm running this on Windows Parallels within my Mac. So, like, I don't get too picky when it comes to... Okay. Deadly Sorrow White. I think you are... Yeah, that's right. I'm just supposed to hit up here, and then something's going to happen. So come along. Let's see if there's any other folks to fight up here. What is happening up there? Are those black swirls attacking that other thing? Or is it using them to attack? There's another one. Okay, no, that's a Merivale with bats. Got it. Okay. Suffering from mortal wounds, a Morgul cultist spits curses at you. Really? Where? Okay. Okay, Merivale with bats. Can't target it. Huh. It's just kind of weird. Her arms must be getting really tired. Okay, and now we're in the Circle of Madness. Or we're approaching the Circle of Madness. Did I miss what I was supposed to do? Talk? There was somebody on the ramp who was spitting? Oh, that was the guy spitting curses at me. I missed it because I was distracted by the Merivale up there. Hey, man. Or woman? Anyway, sorry, I'm not sure.
If you've come
Woman.
to plunder Minas Morgul,
Well,
you've arrived too late.
there is a lot of plunder. I've noticed there are chests all over the place, man. So I don't think it is too late, really. The coward Gothmog sealed himself away in the tower, but he has minions roving the city, searching for whatever treasures might have been left behind. A doomed search. In the Valley of the Secret Shadow, he might have found a useful weapon, but his orcs cannot find the way. Okay. Is the Valley of the Secret Shadow like the Rathdinan in Minas Tirith? The cultist laughs, despite the pain of her wounds, and the blood staining her garb grows a deeper shade of red. My master Dolguzigir. Okay. Dolguzigir. Do I know Dolguzigir? Is this a familiar name? I kind of some of the Mordor names I forget. Not yet. Okay, this is new. Okay, my master Dolguzigir knows the path, but he will not tell Gothmog. Let the coward waste away in the tower if he lives that long. More than one enemy desires his blood, and I have seen servants of at least 2 already. They say the captain of the pit, that's Ugrachor, I know him, will not rest until he has taken Gothmog's head, but he will have a rival for it. I hear that Lyreth the Stained, oh, she's the spider one, right? Hates Gothmog even worse than she hates your kind or mine, and that is no small amount. Look what her Miravile did to me. Oh, I see, right. Well, I have had my last jest, and I am ready to die. Let them kill each other. Oh, dear. Okay. All right. So we have the former lieutenants and regional bosses of Mordor still at it. Ooh, is that a giant bat? Oh, wait, except I'm not supposed to fight. It is a giant bat. I'm not supposed to fight the giant bat. I'm supposed to go back. Oh, I'm supposed to go back to the place where I probably should have gotten the milestone? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, this is the Circle of Madness with the giant bats. Okay. Well, I think let me run back because this will make it easier. I need to learn the routes. Then I'll be able to be a little bit faster about it. Hey, Mr. Enraged Shade. So I'm gonna I may fight you or may not. I'm just relax here, folks. I'm gonna come through here. Hi, everybody. A fell Pathfinder, who is apparently not doing his office, rumors suggest. Okay. I think I can just... Yeah, the Archer White is really annoying. I think I can just... ignore them. Just like I'm ignoring this glowing page. You like to pretend you're going to remember the layout too? Yeah, I hear you, JJ. That's just what I want to do. But no, because then it's not just the layout here. It's also the paths to and from. So, you know, it's good. And now we got the orcs down here. We've gone through the spirits, and now I'm going through the orcs. Yeah. How many of you are there? A bunch, huh? Oh, they're running away from me. Okay, can I actually target somebody, please? There we go. And some for you too, huh? And don't do it again. Okay. Excellent. Why am I still poisoned? Okay, there we go. All right. And the way out is somewhere over here. Vaguely. Yeah, here it is. And the trolls and stuff will be back. But now that I'm back up to full strength, I'm just going to run through. Hey guys, good to see you again. Yeah, no, I'm good. Guys, get out of the way. Seriously. It's rude. I think I want to just be staring at troll backsides. Guys, yeah. Don't you have a gate to be watching? Thank you. Seriously. Okay. All right. That was easy enough. And now I'm gonna remember to get the stupid milestone because I believe that there is one. Okay. All right. Okay, so the primary narrative there in Minas Morgul is division still, which is good and appropriate. That when Sauron falls, the leaders of his army all start to fight one another because they all hated each other the whole time. Again, that all tracks. That seems perfectly appropriate. I hope we get to actually defeat Gothmog for good and all. Like, there has to come a time when Earnur stops coming back, right? This is his third hurrah in the epic quest line, and that seems like a couple hurrahs too many. But anyhow, we are... The cultist there suggested there was a secret valley or something that Gothmog doesn't know about. Which is a little odd to me, because if Gothmog... I would have thought that Gothmog was quite familiar with this place, with Minas Morgul, on account of it became his, like, more or less permanent home for a couple thousand years. I always have really loved the choice of, let's see if I can find it this time. There it is. Okay. Oh, look, Gandalf dropped by also. There's the milestone. Hang on, guys. I'm just not going to forget again. Okay. I don't think I need the Bjorning Hoos anymore. Okay. All right. Hey, Gandalf. Faramir. Good to see you're back in camp. I could tell Baragond over there was a little bit worried about you, Faramir.
So we are not the only ones taking an interest in Minas Morgul.
I did need the Bjorning Hoos after all. Fire. Can't you get there from Holtvies? I still have Holtvies too. Can I take a horse from Holtvies even if I needed to? Okay, anyway, all right. So we are not the only ones taking an interest in Minas Morgul. No. From your report, it sounds as if Ugrachor and Lyreth have both sent their forces to the city, and Gothmog still commands a significant portion of the orcs within. Furthermore, this Morgul cultist spoke of one called Dolguzagir, about whom I have heard little. These interests may not align with each other for now, but we cannot take the risk that they might set aside their differences. Any of these foes will slay us without a second thought. The Valley of the Secret Shadow? I do not like the sound of that. Perhaps Mithrandir will know something of this place. Come on, Gandalf, what are you for?
The Valley of the Secret Shadow?
Yes. That is Thuringwath, but its location is unknown to me, and to any good folk, I should expect. Do you remember the orcs that challenged the forest gate on the edge of Erin Lasgalan? Vaguely, yes. The note you found mentioned a hidden pass named Falkgurth and a secret enchantment. It is possible these spells masked the way to Thuringwath. But I have come here for another reason. I have uncovered developments most interesting from my study of the Black Book of Mordor. Okay. Oh, hang on, I gotta collect an earring. Yeah. Nice.
I will tell both you and Prince Faramir what I have learned.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I'm totally interested. Just give me a one moment here, Gandalf, because I gotta equip some things. That's not what I wanted. No, I said that's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, I gotta equip stuff. Like this earring here. Oh wait, no, I do need that after all. Let's see. I was gonna replace that. No. What even is this thing? It's a bracer. Okay. Is that right? No, it's not right. I want to replace this one. Okay, and then I need to, with my new little earring here, because I do need to keep Wiggins' gear updated, or else he's gonna be in a world of hurt here. Okay. Great. Now, Gandalf, please, do, by all means, proceed. The Sword and the Stone Maiden.
Faramir, I must ask that you not pepper me with questions.
Seriously, Faramir, be a good wizard's pupil. Trust that Wigend will explain to you anything you do not understand. A wizard's time is valuable, and I cannot spend all day relating my discoveries to you. Are you both ready to listen? Very good. That Faramir, such an incorrigible asker of questions.
These are the halls of memory, where the words of Voen give shape to deeds from long ago. Hold your questions, Faramir.
Yeah, it's relevant to have questions here because this is a... Never mind. It's confusing, Faramir. Try to keep up. When last we left Voen and his companions, they adventured in the Grey Mountains. Let us turn our attention to the arid Mithrin and pick up the thread of that tale. Okay. It seems every new discovery leads to further questions. Yeah, totally agree. Man, I walk way faster than you, Gandalf. Whoa, okay. Gandalf puts on the speed. Yeah, what else might we learn? Let's see. Shall we go amongst the colorful constellations? You coming, Gandalf? No, you're not. Okay, fine. I'll go. Here we go through the halls of Voen's memory. It's like... This is like literary analysis, because we're going into the Black Book of Mordor, right? We're exploring the Black Book of Mordor right now. Okay, is that is this a fossil? It's kind of cool. Right, I remember this is where he met the elves and the guy who turned out, in fact, to be Earnor. For 3 years, Voen and his new companions adventured the length and breadth of the Grey Mountains and the northern reaches of the Misty Mountains, hunting down the remaining vestiges of Angmar and bringing battle to the evils dwelling in Gundabad. Never did they know defeat, and their triumphs emboldened Prince Earnor. He remembered a promise he had made years before. Intent on seeing it fulfilled, he invited his companions to make the southward journey to his home, to Gondor. They would stay for a time in Minas Morgul, as his city was then called, and plan the occasion of their next victories. Okay. The evils that still lurked in Gundabad must have rejoiced to see them leave. Okay, off we go, exploring the Black Book. Doing literary analysis is a lot like running through a tunnel of dazzling lights with a misty, murky floor. It's an apt allegory. Voen does not record the name of the tavern. Might it have been the Merry Swan? Nice. I didn't see the map in here, Edith. See, exactly. We're exploring the Black Book. Okay, I'll remember the swan. Sure. Is there somebody up there? Thought I saw something. Oh, no, it's just that pillar. Okay. Yes, I believe it may have been the Merry Swan. No, Earnor sitting in what's his name's seat? Why am I blanking? The Fat. Forlong. Gosh, yes, Forlong the Fat. So Earnor is sitting in... Earnor has a receding hairline? This is fascinating. Really? That's Earnor? He looks like a middle-aged accountant. There's Magaldir the elf. And Voen the dwarf. Okay, he didn't call him here for singing. Not only for drinking. He didn't call him here for drinking. Okay. You know of Halanan, the survivor of Durthand? Yes, I do! I totally just did that story yesterday! Yeah, of course. Of the Thondrim. He survives no longer. He died in his sleep 2 moons ago. Oh, man. Dude. Well, I know nothing of him. Old, was he? No, it's a long story. He was starving, and yeah. Wow. I literally did this story yesterday. That's unbelievable. Thrice 10 years ago, Halanan served in the fortress of Durthand in the Black Shield. Yeah, the Black Shield. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's right. The fortress was taken by Ugrikor, the captain of the pit. The defenders surrendered. After they almost all starved to death. Yeah, we're skipping that. Ugrikor accepted their surrender and slew them anyway. Yeah, he said you could leave, and then as soon as they left, he shot them all. Totally rude. Total jerk move. All save one, Halanan. And he sent him back, and he was like, tell everybody about how you suffered. It is a sad tale, and I fear will become all too common where Mordor is concerned. Well, thanks, elf dude. Magaldir. I met with Halanan some years ago, and promised to enact his vengeance upon Ugrikor. Okay, I don't think that's going to pan out for you. I will slay the captain of the pit, and retake Durthand, I told him. Also, ditto. But there was never a good opportunity, and now Halanan is dead. Well, that is sad to hear. What will I say to his sons if I never make good on my promise? His descendants will remember, I can tell you. You could make certain to never cross their path. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, right. Durthand, you say? Voen is into it. When do we leave? Okay. Man, okay. We met those knights on the Pelennor? No. I mean, not in the Third Age. Huh. Okay. The plans were made, and they were kept secret from all but Eärnur's band. Even his father the king did not know what they intended. Voen says this of their departure. Pleasant weather, few clouds, warm but not uncomfortable, left the city without incident. Silmatar thinks so highly of our chances that he believes the prince will be made king upon our successful return. It was not to be so. Yeah, I guessed that on account of Durthang was still standing. If indeed they met in the Merry Swan, they should have left all traces of merriment behind them. Sure. But they did not. To the prince and his friends it seemed almost a holiday. Yeah, the 4-long overlay is brilliant. It beggars belief that they thought it would be easy. For like the 5 of them to retake the fortress of Ugrikor? Yeah. I can read the admonishment in Voen's words, born from late wisdom. Too late. It's with reluctance that he draws us on to Durthang. Okay. This is great. I will say in general, I'm loving the Black Book thing. This whole, like, going back through this chapter of history. Okay, right. I recognize this as the entrance to Durthang. Yeah. I mean, not that I've actually entered Durthang as Grifflet, but when we were doing the instance with the Thundrim, where they surrendered to Ugrikor. This is like where I'm standing is right where Ugrikor came in the gate. So the gate is behind us, and this is the main entry inside, as I recall. So here's Aarnur. Here's Aarnur, the chartered accountant, with his men-at-arms and elf-at-arms and dwarf-at-arms. Okay. All right. Their experience in Mordor was bleak. To hear Voen tell it, nothing went right for them once they passed into that land. The fortress that was once called Durthand became far more inhospitable with its transformation into Durthang. It was more well defended than the adventurers expected, and they faced strong opposition from the very beginning. Silmatar soon changed his opinion of their fortunes, receiving a leg wound that caused him a great deal of pain and put a limp in his step. They found no sign of Ugrikor within the fortress, and as their dream of slaying the captain of the Black Pit faded, tempers in the fellowship ran hot. Aarnur dulled his sword on the thick hide of a mountain troll, and with each combat the blade weakened further. At last it snapped, and the Prince of Gondor was left weaponless. "You cannot continue without a sword, my prince." "Wield mine in place of yours." Which one is that? "But that will leave you weaponless, and we need your blade skill." "No, I'll find something else." Like, there's a sword right there. It's nasty. There you go. That's it. Using the weapons of the enemy against them. It never goes wrong. An orc blade is a poor substitute. Yeah, it's true. It will have to do. Makilnis. Her name means something like warrior woman, I think. Makil, anyway, is the word for warrior. The adventurers knew they could not reclaim the fortress without first slaying Ugrikor, but for as long as he eluded them, Durthang would remain the property of Mordor. Their spirits were low. They resolved to leave. And that, Voen tells us, is when they felt a new presence upon the battlements. What is that? It's like a new presence upon the battlements. I'm looking. There's a lot of balcony here. An apparition approaches. Oh, there it is. Ooh, Urudani Stone Maiden, the Fire Lady. Urudani? Magaldir, we cannot stay. Oh, this is a... Okay. How can this be? How are you so changed? Well, she looks different from last time you saw her. There are more orcs approaching. I had hoped you would abandon Mordor. Oh, really? You guys have history here? Did we learn the history of Urudani Stone Maiden? What happened to you? Yeah, explain. Because if we learned, I don't remember. Oh, she just offed him. Oh, man. Yeah, now you'll die, witch. You killed Magaldir. Oh, she left. Magaldir, are you mortally wounded? Yeah, what's wrong with you? And do you have time to tell her her whole history before you die? That would be handy. It was a deception. I was foolish to believe it. No, he won't last. But he might have time for, a longer speech if he makes with it here. The orcs are getting closer. It sounds like a lot of them. Hurry and lift him up. We have to go. Okay. No, Aarnur, these wounds are my last. I can feel it. Okay, quick, make with the soliloquy. You're losing time. Listen to me. Take my sword. Okay, right, that's practical. Wield Orthadel and defeat evil. Okay. But tell us about Urudani. I will, my friend. Thanks for the sword. Now go. No. Fine. No expositional soliloquy for you. Owen, I expect Thafar. Nobody expects Thafar. We have to go. This place is not safe. I think the last time Edith says he saw her was in Mordor when he wouldn't let us kill her. We had given her mercy instead of letting the sons of Isildur kill her in Mordor besieged. Okay. But we didn't learn about her history. We know that Uridani Stone Maiden is one of the lieutenants of Mordor. In fact, she's... Hang on. Yeah, she was the one from Talath Urawi down here. Yeah. Okay. And so the survivors of Eärnur's band returned to Minas Anor, defeated and mourning the loss of their friend. Silmatar's hopes, as they set forth, did not come to pass. Indeed, King Eärnil was more wroth than they had ever seen, and he forbade his son from leaving the city without his consent. To Voen's eyes, the prince was made a prisoner, and every day the flame of Eärnur's rage grew hotter still. Eärnur met with Voen and his knights in secret, to weave elaborate plots of revenge against those he blamed for the death of Magoldir. Uridani Stone Maiden for the deed itself, and Ugrakor for his absence at Durthang. If he had been there, Voen writes, the whole adventure would have gone differently. The prince is sure of it. Gandalf strokes his beard. I see in this account much that is familiar, Wigend. No, not the deeds themselves, for I have never seen any record of this doomed expedition to reclaim Durthang in the texts of Gondor. What I find familiar is this description of Eärnur, son of King Eärnil II. Even the known records of his disposition describe Eärnur in life as bold, brash, and reckless. I wonder if he remained so as Mordorith, and now as Gothmog. That is enough for now, my friend. And Faramir, I trust you paid attention as well. These are matters that concern you closely, for this foe now lurks upon the very edge of your lands, and in a city that will demand your protection, and that of your king once it is retaken. Okay. All right. Get to talk to Faramir here.
That is quite a tale.
I know, right? One day you will need to tell me where you found this curious tome. The sigil on its face cannot be mistaken for anything save the Eye of Sauron, which marks it as an artifact of evil. How then came it to tell the tale of King Eärnur? Nay, not even so, for he was not yet king. But still, little is recorded of the years before he followed his father Eärnil to the throne. To find such an account in a book bearing the mark of Mordor is troubling to me. But Eärnur's doomed adventure into the citadel, now called Durthang, has brought to mind a recent conversation. Baragon spoke to me of someone with an interest in that place. Speak to my captain and ask him what happened to the man with the shield. A man of Ithilien he was, but I confess I do not know his name. He was here at the camp, but I have not seen him since I returned. Okay. The man with the shield?
Aye, I remember him.
Okay. I do not much like the look of him, though. Does nobody else have a shield?
Arnoth, I think he was called.
He carried a broken shield around with him, and it seemed to me he repaired it as best he could with leather straps. The thing was barely holding together and looked as if it would fall apart at the first blow of an enemy's weapon. Irresponsible. I set him to conducting an inventory of the rations and water for the camp, but he has not reported back to me. Go find him, will you? He should be somewhere to the tent by the northwest among the crates. Enoth. Enoth isn't that same guy, is it? Yeah, it is the same guy. Oh wait, Daggeros catches my eye. Yeah. The same guy I was questing with yesterday. Right. That's an amazing coincidence. Can I just say that is an amazing coincidence? Okay. I am actually really delighted to get to return to Anoth's story, and I hope we're able to give him satisfaction. All right.
Our work is never done, is it?
It's good to see you again, Wigend. I would not have it another way, my friend, and I suspect neither would you. But you are here seeking the Athelian ranger with the broken shield. I wonder why he carried it around with him, but I did not ask. He seemed particularly interested in the map on the table over there, just to the west. Okay, help me remember. Daggeros, we first meet Daggeros way back in Volume 1 in Trollshaws? Was he on one of those random camps in the north of the Trollshaws? I always like to try to remember when, we're meeting the Rangers of the North, where we met them. Estildine. Okay, he was in Estildine. Right. Okay. All right. Where's the map table? Oh, there it is. Oh, I see him. Is that him up there? Is it going to teleport me somewhere, is it? This camp is kind of unreliable that way. Anoth's dagger is embedded in the map, marking a location northwest of Minas Morgul. Okay. He's the one who sends us to the Spider Queen from Estildine. Right. Okay. Cool. Actually, all right. I'm going to pause now. It's come to our first break. So I'm gonna take a break now, and we'll be back. I think how I should do this, rather than just having long dead spots in it, I'm gonna stop the stream and then I'll resume it again in we'll call it 10 minutes. Okay. So let me go upstairs and check on everything, make sure everybody's doing okay, and then I'll be back in like 10 minutes, all right? Actually, can we start a drawing? Let's start a drawing, and I'll tell you what the prize is when we get. It's a new prize, so I'll tell you what the prize is when we get back. So I'll stop the stream for 10 minutes, and then I'll be back, and we'll do the drawing. So we'll open the giveaway. Again, this is on the Twitch stream, so if you're watching on YouTube, you need to go to Twitch to participate in the drawing. But I'll be right back in 10